All right, so in the latest strategy that we've now incorporated into the mobile home industry, and we're always adding, so remember that, always pushing that envelope just a little bit more. Hello, everyone. Jose J. Garcia, real estate investor, coach, and mentor, here with my lovely wife, Angela, where we're going to be talking about the strategy. She's also going to be talking about some numbers on her latest short term rental. All right, as with anything, any investment, there's always the risk and reward. There's always the pro and there's the con. And Angela can talk about some of the cons here in a few minutes as well. But I am talking about doing VRBO, travel nurses, Airbnb, which y'all know we've already done in certain campers, certain mobile homes, etc. Now, one step further is now not having to invest as much money. And if you follow our social media, you saw my little sticky note where I had under 6,000, and it did trickle a little bit more once we did housekeeping and a couple of little things we added. So I would say 5,800, 5,900, maybe 6,000, all in two. And we said that includes the home, the furnishing of it, which that takes money. That will add up. She'll tell you about some of that again in a minute. To obviously stage it, which we're going to do a tour for you in a minute as well. But not having to buy the mobile home. And this is, again, pro and cons. We'll talk about those. But, I've heard investors do this with apartments, houses, condos. Angela's she's learned more about that strategy with houses and real estate than I would typically do with mobile homes. To me, it's always buy the home. It's yours. You can do whatever strategy. You can change it up. But again, always changing that up. So we do not own the last two mobile homes that we are renting, in a sense. So it's a lease, sublease is what we're doing, or subleases to come. So what we're doing is we're technically the tenant in the mobile home inside the community, and now we're going to do short-term rentals, Airbnb, VRBO, travel nurse, any other strategy. And then we're able to do so as a sublease, which then again, it puts us into the investment for a lot less. That's the strategy, the latest of what we're doing. If you want to get specifics on how to get into a communities, talk to park owners on that, you have to get book a coaching. Who knows, maybe Angela and I coach you soon. So we'll think and talk about that later. But we can definitely get you the blueprint, the script, what to say, what not to say, things to look for, etc., etc. So let's talk about some pros and cons. What do you think a pro would be?
On Airbnb?
The strategy in itself, just overall. I'll start with the first one. Low entry. We managed to trickle down from what we would be, and look, as we have the lowest entry into any real estate by being 10,000 and under, but we just shade 4,000 off that by not buying the mobile home. So that would be a pro. You're 6,000 versus 10K. That's 4 more K. I can do whatever, another investment. Another pro would be, what do you think?
I think with doing Airbnb, you can make more money, profit, versus doing like a rental or rent to own.
Yeah. And we've seen numbers on the other ones that we have where, again, no one's strategy is better than the other. It's just which one is best in an area in the market. I think if we fill in the calendar, we can get up to 3,200, I think it was, versus if you do a rent to own, you would make 400 or 500 net. So, but again, different strategies kind of thing. I would say another one would be the clientele. So when you do rental, this is the big thing, is you have a rental mentality and a rent to own, meaning an owner mentality. Mm-hmm. Rental, people have that attitude of, I don't care. This is not mine. If it tears, it breaks, whatever. Whereas somebody who's going to buy it, they have that attitude more of, it's my home ownership to be. Well, with Airbnb, VRBO, nurse traveling, you're dealing with very professional or more elite of a tenant that is not going to come in and tear it up. And then, of course, Airbnb pays.
Right.
If something breaks, so if somebody breaks our brand new TV, we report it to it, send a receipt what we paid, and they give you a new one, kind of provide you a new one, a replacement per se. Cons. What do you think some cons would be? We're doing a short-term rental. And the strategy with us not owning these homes.
If the park owner says you can't do it anymore, sublease.
You're out. See? And that's why one strategy, one trick pony never works. You got to have multiple. I would say this is definitely the riskier of all of them that we've done, even though, of course, live and learn. But it is. Think about some of these cities, counties where the government has shut down Airbnbs, period. If that's your only way of creating cash flow, that just went out the door. So the same way here. Sure, we have a great relationship now. Hopefully that stays, and it will. But they can cut us off. Another one.
If they do cut you off, then you have to like move all this furniture out and have all that to deal with.
Mm-hmm. So in this specific time, Angeline just bought another mobile home. Now she's going to do short-term rental like what we're doing. She's actually in the process of furnishing it all right now. You can talk about some of those numbers you spent, and she is a lot more into the home. But granted, that home has a new roof, new decks, new skirting, new plumbing, a lot. You know, it's a great investment anyway. She does not have to worry about getting cut off, because in the event, let's say that Airbnb short-term doesn't work in her area, you could turn around and sell that for how much more versus a typical rent-to-own?
Probably around like a, you said a rent-to-own? Mm-hmm. Like 25,000.
So Airbnb short-term rental failing per se, and it's not renting, could be the area, you know, trial and error in a way. If you have a vacant, meaning not furnished mobile home that you're doing rent to own or for cash, you can typically sell it in our area 22 to 25K. If it's furnished, Airbnb didn't work out, I guess you can sell it the furniture or move it to another area. Or if you decide I'm going to sell it with everything in, a legitimate 100% move-in ready, bring nothing, it's all there. You can mark that home up for 30, 32,000. So it'll still get you the profits later on, just not obviously the strategy that you chose to. So how much would you say you're all in right now with the, and I'll do a breakdown on all my, I call it material, but it's the furnishing, couches, beds, TVs, coffee table, a couple of Dr. Peppers I'll put in there as well. Where are you at on the numbers on yours currently?
I would say around like 2,500 to 3,000, give or take.
So keep that in mind. You know, and we can coach all you this. We can coach you on where to get the best deals for, but there's certain things that you don't want to get deals on. Example, and she actually brought me the connection to a gentleman who wholesales beds. You don't want to go to a flea market and buy used beds. You know, remember, one of the things with Airbnb short-term rental is reviews are everything. If your bed sucks and she stays on it, she's going to tell you that bed was poor and there you get 2 stars instead of 5. So you got to watch out for those kind of things there. What do you think the biggest investment was, material was, furnishing?
I would say probably the beds or the washer and dryer.
And of course, we got a deal on those as well, because you go to refurbished appliances. You paid how much for those?
I think $550 max for both.
Plus delivery, which is another $700 typically. They'll bring them in, hook them up, check them out, and they do have warranty. You know, refurbished. I would say that's another one of those where don't go and buy a used one on Facebook. They may work for a year, they may work for a day, and then you're back to square one. So just, you know, be smart about it. Okay. And now, since being starting, that's the thing is you got to hit the floor running. Like when you're going to invest and put all this stuff in here, and you got to put it on the market to make you money. That started today. You buying furniture. When is it scheduled to go on in the air?
I'd say by Tuesday.
Tomorrow. I agree. And you know, that's another thing is having the right help, contractors, agents, crews, you jump on it and get it, you know, as we're going. So most of the stuff is bought, is currently being staged right now. So that's where we're at. So, okay. So I am going to do a walkthrough, show y'all some of the home. Anything else you want to add?
No.
Stop wasting time. Invest now. Send us a DM. Drop a comment. Email propertybuyer321@gmail. Show you where. So I am in the living room currently. I'm going to just trail Angeline around. She can kind of show you. Now we are doing a couple of little things in the home, and you'll kind of see some cleaning up, touching up on the walls, and we are going to get a few more frames. But for the most part, everything is here. So I'll turn the camera over. All right, walk us through. That's the TV where y'all can watch GMHU live on YouTube every Tuesday. Appliances, of course, we did have to buy a microwave. That one didn't come with the home, not this one, but it did have a fridge and a stove. Pull the sticker off. And of course you got there it is, washer and dryer. And this is huge when you're doing Airbnb. I mean, same for yourself if you're staying. Ask yourself this, if I was gonna stay in an Airbnb, what all would I want in it? And to me, it's always, it has to have a washer and dryer. You can rent it for more. You can ask more on a weekly, monthly rate. And of course, it's more appealing. So you gotta plug that, baby. You want it? Yeah, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. That's also another thing, is you want to have at least 2 bedrooms. So 1 bedroom is small. I mean, it's not that it won't rent, but again, almost think about the families staying in the home. You're not gonna have 7 people sleeping in 1 bedroom. So brand new sheets. They're gonna put a couple more frames in this room.
There's a second bathroom.
And of course, as always, I'm always giving you tips, but you're going to get a lot more from the coaching. So where is the #1 place to shop, hon?
For like the furniture and stuff?
Yep.
Thrift stores, Goodwill.
There you go.
Walmart.
3rd bedroom, clearance aisle, clearance section. So there you have it. 3 bedroom, 2 bath. This is actually a smaller double wide, smaller than the most single wides. We'll talk about that on another video, but that is the strategy. Don't own the home, simply rent it as a tenant and then turn around and sublease it. There you have it.